Tonight, we focus on social issues. Our moderator is Janella Pursues.
Good evening and welcome to the first of 3 political debates organized by the Jamaica Debates Commission and staged before a limited studio audience in keeping with the COVID-19 guidelines. The debates are intended to assist in identifying, clarifying, and understanding the issues being presented in the general election campaign.
If you look at the corruption that was at CMU, with State Minister Floyd Green and Royal Reid, that is funding that could have gone into ensuring that we had more students having the necessary equipment at schools, that could have gone into ensuring that we have the necessary health facilities in place, to ensuring that we have roads in communities, that we can deliver potable water to some of our communities, that we could have used cars being given to the police force. The used car scandal, we still have not been able to get those resources to the police. So when you are home and you feel petrified and you call the police and they cannot respond to you, please remember that we are still awaiting the used cars that we are to get from this administration.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell.
The question was, water systems have been commissioned in several communities, Flower Hill in St. James. There's also the Essex Valley Water Supply Project in St. Elizabeth. But this is far from what you promised. Why didn't you do better?
No, I think without a doubt, we have done a really good job of getting to some of our water challenges. There's still issues. And the reality, I'm not surprised that the PMP has started by talking about what they had in the pipeline. They were the government that lay a pipeline and never connected it so that the people could get water. They are the pipeline national party, quite frankly.
Well, the Jamaica Labour Party government, it is not true to say that they were well prepared. If you can recall, we lost one Jody and Ferron whilst the JLP was busy campaigning in Southeast Clarendon. This was in the earlier part of this year when they should have been busy putting the measures in place.
The only unfortunate inaccuracy that took place here tonight, and I'm really disappointed, is the statement by the member to my opposite, blaming COVID-19 and campaigning to Jody and Ferron's death. And it's rather unfortunate, and I think, frankly speaking, he should at some point during the proceeding apologize to the family members. The truth is, Jody and Ferron died on April 24th. The by-election in Southeast Clarendon was on March 2nd. There's absolutely no relationship between the two. And I think that is what causes panic. And we must be careful when we have people's lives to manage and provide leadership for, that we do not court this type of panic.
The fact of the matter is that when Jody and Ferron died, the Ministry of Health would have known that COVID was in China from November of 2019. They should have been making the necessary preparation at the time when they were having the by-election. The transportation protocol was
Thank you so much, Dr. Campbell. Natalie has the next question. Natalie has the next question.
You said in 2011 that you would remove the Queen as head of state. You're again promising that this time around. Why should the electorate trust that you'll do it if elected?
The fact of the matter is that an approach was started with respect to a private member's motion to at least rename the throne speech the people's speech. In that debate, by the way, some of the elements that the Governor General recently found objectionable about the instruments and insignia he's required to wear was also described. The fact is simply this. We hoped that our parliamentary colleagues opposite would have joined us in that transformative and visionary move. However, they stuck to the need for a referendum. Recall, the current Prime Minister had indicated a mega ballot of issues for which he wanted referenda to be determined as to what decisions should be taken within the Parliament. We submit and we invite our members opposite to finally agree in front of Jamaicans abroad and here that they believe in the Jamaican people sufficiently to say to this vestige of our colonial past, the monarch, the English monarch, that time come we can chart our own course, and the head of our state should not be embarrassed by colonial insignia linked to a past that enslaved this race and this people.
Team JLP, your 45-second rebuttal.
We believe in the people so much that we believe the people must speak on an issue like this. We don't understand what objection the PNP has to a referendum. These are the people who like to call people Hitler and talk about all kind of authoritarian, and they're the people who don't want you to speak. We believe that a grand referendum on matters which are sensitive, sometimes even controversial, matters on which the Jamaican society is divided, should be put to a referendum. We actually proposed it before, but because we've been focused on economic independence, on delivering water, roads, houses, more jobs, less poverty, we've had time directed at that, because you have to prioritize when you are leading to a stronger and new Jamaica.
Vashan has his question to Team JLP.
You promised the establishment of shelters for shelters for victims of domestic abuse on page 43 of your 2016 manifesto. The Gender Minister repeated this promise in July 2016, March 2019, and again in July 2020. You're now saying in this manifesto that the renovation of one will be done by this month. But why did this take so long, and when can you guarantee that these shelters will be operational?
Thank you for that question. You know the matter of gender and protection of our women and children is one that the Jamaica Labour Party and myself personally were deeply passionate about. The fact is that since 1984, Jamaica has only had one shelter, and it's been run by a private NGO, even though we as government support it. Now the Jamaica Labour Party will deliver 3 national shelters. They'll be child-friendly, they'll provide counseling services, they'll provide training to allow women who are coming from challenging circumstances to reassert themselves and reintegrate themselves and their children safely and confidently in a positive life. The Jamaica Labour Party, however, does have to explain that there were challenges in the procurement. Firstly, when you're establishing a shelter, it has to be in a particular set of circumstances. It can't be anywhere. They have to be in secret locations so that the women who go there are safe. Finding those locations in the 3 counties across Jamaica has been challenging, but we've achieved it. 1 will be open soon. 2 are being transferred. They're in different, rather, 1 is being transferred and 1 is in the process of renovation. We're proud of this achievement, and we will deliver on it in the 2nd term, in its entirety.
Thank you so much. Team PNP, your rebuttal.
You know what I love about the JLP is just how intellectual and contrite they sound in terms of not achieving things over the past 55 months. I really don't think they're on the ground with Jamaican people and what they're feeling. What the PNP has done, we have been revolutionary in terms of helping and protecting women. The Maternity Leave with Pay Act, equal pay for equal work. We are the party with the women's movement. What the PNP will do, because you see when women are in an abusive situation, it sometimes is financial because they can't afford to get out of the home. Our manifesto says we will give women a single income mortgage through the NHT so that they can rent to buy their own home and get out of that abusive situation. We know what it feels like. I don't think the Minister of Foreign Affairs understands it because she has been on a plane for just too long.
Thank you so much.
And if I could just quickly, while we still have time on the clock, I think we just discovered why the Minister of Health has done so badly with dengue and now COVID. Perhaps some marketing of, well, let's not go there. But you directed in your rebuttal assertions to me. You seem to always be looking in the wrong direction, Minister. It was my colleague to the left who made the remarks. And the remarks were, by the way, accurate.
Team JLP, you have 1:30 to respond.
You know, if the PNP could build a country the way you build a story, you'd actually make a good government.
Well,
unfortunately, you can't.
To Team PNP.
Each year, hundreds of university students face deregistration. With COVID-19, the situation could worsen in the next academic year. How would your administration improve funding of tertiary education?
Thank you. One of the pledges that we've made is to provide one student per family a scholarship to go to university. Because I know the minister has chided the PNP about past policies, but the fact is that Norman Manley gave common entrance so that the student from Arnett Garden could go to school with a student in Cherry Garden. Michael Manley gave free education. P.J. Patterson gave the education transformation program. And then Portia Simpson-Miller came around. You know what she did? She made sure students could eat, and we took 50% of students off the shift system. We're going to do it for university students because every family now, qualifying for university is not an exception anymore in Jamaica. It is a rule. And so we will provide voluntarism to help. We will make sure that students even don't have to have a guarantor to get to the Student Loan Bureau. Because you see, in my constituency, sometimes a mother has to grow a cow to send her child to school. We want to be able to give equity, access across the board, and make sure that every family has a student. So under our pledge, we will ensure that one child per household gets a scholarship to go to university. And we know what that can do. I know Dr. Campbell, his life experiences have been able to be transformed because of PNP policies. My life has been transformed before because of PNP policies. And Raymond's life. So when you talk about those 18 years, we grew up in Jamaica in those 18 years. We are a product of who we are because of PNP policies. And all of them over there are the same products because of the PNP.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hannah. Thank you. JLP, your rebuttal?
I grew up in those 18 years, and I saw tertiary education become more expensive under the hand of the PNP. What did they do? Student loan. I took student loan. I had the fear of my picture being published under the PNP. But let's not talk about that. What are we doing to make it more accessible? We have ensured the first thing we did when we came to government, we reduced the student loan interest rate from 12% to 9%. The next JLP government will reduce it by a further 1%. We will also ensure that you have a longer time to repay, because we know if we lower the burden of repayment, more people will repay. Yeah. They could have done it. They did not do it. Now they come with bells and whistles and expect you to believe
not
them.
Bells.
Don't believe them.
Not bells.
Don't believe them.
No bells over here.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you have it. Such an interesting debate. So let me know in the comment section what you thought of it. Do you think the JLP won or the PNP? Comment in the comment section. Thank you.